Hello and welcome to Stampscaping 101. If you've watched my videos, you know that I use a lot of Dr. Martin's bleed proof white, which is a opaque, very opaque white watercolor paint. Okay, now someone showed kind of the inside of a bottle with kind of a very dry, frothy looking paint inside, and I've seen that before. I think one of my bottles was like that at one time, maybe this one right here. It has that kind of look to it. But this type of material can be reconstituted very easily, okay? I've even had some that had like mold in it or something like that, okay, because it was just, I don't know, just the right consistency. Usually it dries out, okay? Now this one is the one that I've been using lately, okay? But I have these other bottles. The reason I have a number of bottles is because we used to, I think I used to do something with the paint at one of the conventions, maybe one of the make and takes we used to do. I didn't teach it in workshops, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm pretty darn sure it was a make and take. Okay, so you can see in here, do you see that? That is absolutely dry, and I'm going to show you how to reconstitute it, okay? And I think I'm going to be consolidating some of this while I'm at it. Okay, so when you're adding water to this, what you don't want to do is add too much. You want it the right consistency, so something like a kind of like a syrup consistency is ideal. Okay, now when I have a full bottle of this, I'm not mixing up the entire bottle from top to bottom. I'm just kind of mixing up a little bit on top, because that's all I use. I don't load up some brush full of paint, okay? I'm just loading up kind of the tip of a toothbrush, you know, usually. And then I'm wiping off most of it off of that. So I'm usually putting in just a tiny little amount of it, like about like that. Okay? So I'm not using very much of it at all. All right? So that being said, what I usually do is just add a little bit of... Now this one's absolutely dry. It looks like the... dried wetlands or something like that. So this is going, I mean, it's not going to go back into solution instantly, so, but it goes into it pretty fast for anything this dry, okay? So I'm going to just start mixing it like here a little bit. It's going to be very, very lumpy. You might kind of crush it a little bit if you have like some really solid pieces. But like I said, you can treat this almost like a cake style watercolor, okay, you know, that come in a little bit of pack, and then you can just add a little bit of water to the top of it, and you're not putting the whole thing back into solution. You're just getting, you know, the amount that you want, okay? All right, so let's see. Let me give you a little update here. There's like nuggets in here of it, okay? You can see that in there, okay? But I mean, that's kind of the consistency you want right there. It's getting really frothy and kind of bubbly because of just the amount of mixing I'm doing here, okay? And you know, if I'm going to utilize this, maybe I will just put it all back into, you know, an absolutely smooth solution so that I can pour this into one of these bottles. You know, I'm getting kind of low on here, so I'm always having to reach my brush deep down into there. But, I mean, I have the right consistency that I want right now. Let's just show you that right now and show you what it looks like in use, okay? The way that we're using it. I'm not doing, like, brush calligraphy or anything with it, but just to kind of demonstrate the opacity of it at this point in time, okay? Still quite chunky, okay? I mean, this was absolutely hard with... you know, just solid zero moisture chunks in there, okay? So let's see if this will go just fine. Okay, so I dipped it in, and then I'm wiping off the excess, okay? And then, you know, I'm usually doing stars or something like that, you know, and that's looks absolutely fine right there. Notice even the tiniest little dot, I mean, that one right there. That wouldn't be visible with most watercolor paints, but this is it's a specialized paint, okay? When brush calligraphers are doing things, or nib-style brush calligraphy, I mean, those little kind of, I don't know, trail-off types of marks, that they're doing, that's showing the entire gesture of something, or brush calligraphy, okay? When they do like a little swoosh or something like that, if you can't see that tail, you're missing a big part of the gesture. So those minute types of marks have to show up. So that's what this is kind of geared, for. All right, so what I would do is I don't know, you'd probably get something a little bit flatter than this, okay? And then crush it up like that. Now this is really starting to go back into solution here. I can really feel it getting pasty in here. Let's give you a little bit of an update here. Okay, let's see if I can focus in here. Okay, can you see that? I mean, that's really starting to, go back into, I mean, it's been sitting here longer too, so it's having see how it's getting like pancake batter? All right. So it's going, it's not too bad. I mean, this has just been a few minutes, and I haven't been working with it, steadily. Let's see this right here. I mean, like I said, there's still chunks, but it's definitely kind of breaking down. Okay. Okay, so that is that one. Now this one right here, I don't know why there's so much water in here. I must have added it in at some point in time. Oh, okay, now here's the thing. As I go like this, it is really, really hard underneath there, okay? I think I added water to it. Okay, now this is really too wet, so I should probably sop some water out of it. See this right here? That's like really too watery. Okay, I'm at the bottom of the bottle right here. Okay, and this one right here, there's very little. Oh, okay. Now watch this right here. See that? That was the one that was all kind of gummed up right there. I should have showed you right when I started. But see this right here? When you mix that up, this type of thing, it's almost like whiteout material or something. That is as white as ever. So even if it gets, sometimes it looks a little bit brown. Like I said, I've had it where, I don't know, it was just the wrong consistency, and then it I had a bottle sitting around for a long time because I have so many of these bottles that it looked kind of moldy. Okay, now that sounds kind of gross, but if you just mix it up like this, whatever this is, it just eradicates all of it, and it's just pure white again. So even if it's kind of discolored, if you just mix it up a little bit, it's gone. You might even be able to put in something like a drop of dye-based ink in there. Never do that, and if you just stir it up, I wouldn't be too surprised if it just absolutely disappeared. Okay, so there's these types of things like this, this, okay? This is a Badger airbrush company paint mixer. So it's like if you have some paints and you want to mix it up, it's like a very small version of those big ones that they use in like 5-gallon paint containers, to mix it all up. But I think I'm going to try some of this right here in here. I bought one of these because I bought a bunch of metallic inks, and I was going to use this for that, but I never did. Okay, so let me see if this helps kind of mix it up here. Okay, remember, when you take it out, don't take it out as it's spinning, otherwise it might splatter all over the place, okay? Now let's see how this did. I mean, this is meant to mix up, liquid paints that are just separated, all right? So I haven't done this where it's trying to break up chunks or something like that. But okay, so it got a little frothy with bubbles, but let's see. As I mix it here, all those bubbles seem to go away. And I'm just kind of feeling around a little bit. Okay, see there's like these little tiny chunks left. So it's really breaking it down pretty good. And I only feel like one chunk left. Okay, I'm kind of smashing it down a little bit here as I kind of feel around. So I think it's back into solution. So we'll take this and let's consolidate. Like I said, I think it was just way too much liquid in this one. I probably poured a little bit too much in there. But let's see, which bottle looks the best? Ah! Good thing this wasn't full. Don't pour out your your paints. Okay, let's see this one. This one I can feel it. I think it's a I think it's a little caked up on the bottom. Okay, it's a little bit thin, but the water evaporates pretty fast out of this. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pour it in this bottle here. See that consistency? I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it's like, I mean, the paint consistency is like you know, any paint that you buy to paint your house or something like that after they put it in the agitator. You know, it's like that. But like you know, like I said, when you're using it though, it doesn't really. It's not going to be like that because the whole bottle's not going to be mixed up. It's going to be separated. Okay. All right. Let me work on this one a little bit more because I don't want to waste anything. Alright, that works pretty good. I think that's saving myself some time, but this was an extreme example, too, of that absolutely caked up, completely dried version. I should get one of those little things and kind of scrape out the inside in here. I need like a spatula or something. One of those cake pan, you know what I mean, types of things. See if I can get out that last drop. Maybe just a piece of cardstock will do it. Let me try that. Okay, I just have, you know, I save all my scraps here. So go like this. And let's take this like this. Okay. Should do it, right? Okay, let's see here. Sorry, you can't see it. Okay, that's working. I mean, this stuff is pretty thick, so it's really sticking on the side of the jar, and I'm getting, you know, a pretty good amount out of here. Maybe I can put some of my... Yeah, I was going to say, I guess I don't need this bottle. It's kind of a nice sized little bottle, though, for something. I was going to say if I had, like, powders or something like that that are in a bag, like a Ziploc bag or something, then I can probably use these bottles for that. Okay, so I have, let's see, getting rid of these two bottles right here. Yeah, see? Right. That is that. I don't think I'd throw this one in there. I think it's just too watery. I think what I'm going to do on this one is I'm just going to put the lid on it kind of loosely. Or, yeah, let me see if I can reconstitute most of it. I can feel it's hard. There's some chunks in it about midway up, so maybe it's so watery because it's not mixed up there. Okay. There's a lot of material in there. There's a ton more paint than I thought there was. So this is like digging down. I can feel it kind of penetrating that. This one's a little bit. This one's a little bit thin though. Oh, I can see. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me show you how this is right here. It's really kind of breaking it up there. But see that? Gosh, let's see if I can focus in here. All right, can you see in there? It's kind of chunky right in there. Right, back in. Let's see if I can show you right here. See that right there? That material? Okay. But that was solid just a minute ago, okay? So, oh, okay, now it's really breaking up. So I was kind of hitting solid, but now, just a couple minutes later, it's more... I wouldn't call it liquid, but you know, it's like a I don't know, not a milkshake, but it's like if you put something in the refrigerator or the freezer and it's just starting to, you know, it's really kind of getting it's like a slushy or something like that. Now remember, this hasn't been used, and this one's probably hasn't been used in, I don't know, like 10 years or something like that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 15 years. So this isn't too bad. But it's just to come to show you, this stuff, like I said, you can usually mix it up again, okay? Oh, my little thing here came unscrewed. So it's just spinning there. Okay, there we go. Okay, my little thing here just keeps getting unscrewed. I'm going to have to really screw that on tighter, but when it's screwed in there nicely, I should get a plier to get this screwed on here much tighter. It's just like, as it goes into the material, it seems to be unscrewing. I think. Yeah, there we go. Maybe it's not a screw, maybe it's just you have to pull it on tight like that. Okay, let me get in this one too. Okay. Alright, that is that. That's all I'm doing right now, though. But that little bit of a kind of mixing up, that took care of, like I said, I don't know, must be 15 years of sitting around or so. I think I've added water since then, okay? But that was just about it. Okay, I'm finding that this is kind of mixing it up maybe even better. That little thing, that little tip at the end, I need to get that on there tighter. Like I said, it's not, this little mixing thing's not kind of designed to, you know, kind of liquefy, you know, or reconstitute like solids back into liquid form. It's meant to kind of mix up a separated bottle of ink, but that worked pretty good though. That took care of, I think that expedited the whole process. Doing this right here is just kind of, I'm pressing this up against the side of the glass, and I can feel like these little chunks kind of breaking down. You know, going back into liquid, and as I do that, I can tell the this like batter, it's like a paint batter, is getting it's getting thicker as I go. You know, as you break down these, you know, these chunks like this. Let's see if I can bring one out like that. Okay. Okay. So, anyways, that is, you know, pretty close to done. I'm just going to let that set like that. I can see it's still a little chunky, you know, getting those last bits like that. But those will be sitting on the bottom of your bottle when you're getting your paint towards the top of that, okay? So you should be fine, even if there is some little chunks left. Like I said, you don't need to do it all, okay? Usually, like I said, I'm just using the top of it, and the bottom part is one kind of moist solid anyway. It's just the little bit of top that I'm kind of getting off there. And again, kind of like think of it like, even though this is a bottle of paint here, think about it like, you know, the utilization of it, like, if you're doing just splatter painting, think about it like a water color cake, and they're just putting a little bit of water on top, mixing it up to the right consistency, and dipping into it and painting, okay? All right, so anyway, I took care of something that I needed to do for a while, but just getting around to it. And I can throw away these two bottles right here, or recycle them actually. And 2 down. Oh, like 1.5 to go of bleed proof white. This is probably another, I don't know, it's probably 15 years worth of paint for me. Some people use it, you know, more extensively. I don't use it very extensively at all, but it's very effective in the way that I do use it, and it has a very powerful type of finish to it when you use it as that splatter painting and you're using it in, kind of some darkened area, like for stars, base of waterfalls to give that nice consistency. Or you can do it over the whole thing, like in a blue tone scene, or just any type of winter scene. And it's very reminiscent of snowfall. Okay, so anyways, I hope that comes in handy for anyone that might have questions about this. Dr. Martin's Bleed Proof White. I'd recommend a bottle of this in everyone's repertoire. It's $70.95, it's like the price of one ink pad these days, but this is something that you can use on with so many more applications of things. It's so universal in terms of the dynamic effects it can bring to your pieces. I use it all the time. Okay, so anyways, if you have any questions, drop me a note in the comments section. Thanks for watching.